Everyone, this is Harry from High Spurs TV here, back with a match reaction video. Leeds United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Very happy today. Especially because if you look at Leeds' record, they've not lost a game at home since December 2024. So almost a year to the day, give or take, 2 months, I guess, when they last lost a home game. So on the face of it, it's a massive win. Kudus was obviously the difference with his winner, but let's just go through the lineup because there were some interesting choices here by Frank, especially because this was the last game before the international break. Also, bear in mind, we had this curse where we'd always lose a game before the international break. Maybe just funny beat it. Fingers crossed. Let's get into it first. Vicario was in goal, probably responsible for their goal actually, or at least partly responsible for their goal. Van der Ven and Romero, Porro and Udogie were the choices today. Spence didn't actually get any minutes. Very interesting choice there by Frank. He likes rotating between those three, and obviously that Spence can play either side. I think Udogie made a massive difference in the game in terms of attacking wise. And then midfield was Bentancur, Paulinho and Xavi. Probably the midfield three that Spurs fans, myself, is probably our best one on paper. Also interesting to see when Maddison comes back, because he is part of the leadership group. Just as a side note, quickly get the leadership group stuff out of the way. So it was Vicario, Davies, Maddison, Bentancur, were all picked up part of the leadership group. Davies is an interesting one, mainly because the guy has a year left on his contract. Maddison because there was murmurs he might get sold, and he's also injured at the moment. And of course Romero is the last one, but Vicario being a choice, interesting. I think it's interesting mainly because I think he's making a lot of blunders, and I wouldn't really want him in my team, which is why I'm like, not so sure about that. But Davies is interesting, mainly because, like I said, he's got a year left. But just as a side note, and just finish on the team, he started with Tell as up front, Odobert on the left, and Kudus on the right. Interesting choice of the three. Maybe for the moment, based on the last few games, Odobert is his choice on the left. And I thought, on the whole, we did all right. It's sometimes hard to judge some of these players when they don't get a run of games. And Odobert's now got 2 or 3 on the trot. I'm not saying he's the finished article or even the answer for the left wing. I still think we need something better. But for the moment, he might be our best choice on the left, based on the few evidence I've seen so far, rather than putting Xavi there and kind of just, he's not really going to fit. And Kudus was later class above. But our goal actually came from Tell, who took a shot, mainly because we just weren't taking a lot of shots. It deflected and went over the keeper's hand and went in. It was probably going on target, so the goal will go to Tell. And I guess he's given him a reprieve to say, look, because he's not playing Champions League, go out and show him that you deserve to be here, basically, already. And I thought Tell, even though I'm not a massive fan of him, I'm not going to lie, he was actually all right. Whether he's the answer up front, again, is another question. But surprisingly, his header hit the bar in the first half. Was quite surprising. Mainly because I've just not seen him really attack the ball like that before. So maybe he's found some place in the squad, playing as like a backup striker. I mean, he can also play on the left. But like I said, I think Odobert is probably Frank's choice at the moment on the left. Not that, we have such great choices there anyway. But the right, I mean, Kudus just basically showed his class with the winner, I think. And it's obvious he was the difference. But I think this win is significant because of 3 reasons. 1, because obviously we needed to win. 2, because of Leeds' home record. Bear in mind they did draw to Bournemouth 2-2 just the other week. And obviously our international break curse is kind of broken. So all in all, great results. Great result. And I guess we move on. We're going to international break now. And Spurs, I don't think, come back till Villa on the 19th. If I'm not wrong, I think that's the next game, Villa on the 19th. Yeah, I think it's Villa at home on the 19th. So obviously these players go into international break now. Hopefully come back and there's no injuries. But Frank has got a lot more out of those players, in my opinion, than Ange. Obviously, look at what he's doing for us, than Ange ever did. And today with Leeds, I don't think we would have won the game if Ange was in charge. Last week when we drew to Wolves, I know that's not an amazing result. I do not think we would have done it with Ange in charge. So he's obviously making a difference. So, you know, this is why I wanted Frank to do these sorts of things. And he was given constant instructions and writing constant notes on the touchline. And this is where this little, I say little details, there's a lot of details. Frank's very detailed, it seems, even more detailed than I thought it would be, do make the massive difference. And his encouragement of the players, which you can see on the touchline, is maybe, for me right now, what's making a difference between this year and last year. But we're still a work in progress. That's a great win, all things considered. Any away win's great, especially in the place we were last season compared to this. And just the development of the team and the squad. But Frank's finding places to use players that I would never have thought. But yeah, let's just see how it goes. The rest of the season's a long way to go. But yeah, it's a good win. And come on, you Spurs.